Is this just now?
I mean, mine just fell apart. I kind of have to eat it.
Oh my god, my teeth are like sticking together.
Sugar.
Oh god.
Sugar. Yep. That's why you have to eat cotton candy when it's fresh.
Yeah. Yeah, this ain't a fake sugar. They didn't make this out of Splenda.
Nope.
Is it good?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like salty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat like a home run Super Bowl.
All right. Welcome to Instant Discussions, episode 14. 14, I'm sure. Yeah.
Some number like that.
Yeah. Well, 12 is a 3-part episode, and then we did
Episode
one after
14,
that.
give or take 100.
Yeah, somewhere around there,
Not that much.
where we are discussing Killer Klowns.
Killer Klowns from outer space! Woo!
Which is why we all have cotton candy.
One of the best movies
We've
ever.
now eaten. Was there paper in that cotton candy? For some reason, it looked like there was paper in the last bit of years.
I thought you were asking if I'd eaten the paper.
For the listeners, we're eating cotton candy and popcorn, and Stefan's got popcorn in his hair. Somehow that happened.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. Reveal for the end.
Yeah, come on.
So Tony, you picked Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
One of my
With K's.
one of my favorite movies as a child. It was one of my first like kind of horror-ish movies that I was allowed to watch.
1988.
1988.
Yes.
So-
You were how old when that movie came out then?
8.
8. It's a good age for that. A movie with clowns.
Well, a couple. We got it. We rented it on VHS.
Okay.
So a couple years after,
Yeah.
probably around 10. It's a good movie to watch.
Pretty high tech.
Yeah.
No, it's not bad for that year.
I'm wondering how
Actually, we're serious.
how
Anyway.
it kind of differed for you watching it now as watching it as a kid. Like just your first impression view of it.
I mean, for me, I go back and I just, the nostalgic factor. I mean, looking at it, it's just, it's so horrible.
Oh, yeah.
The dialogue is just horrible.
What I had to look up when I first started rewatching this, I saw it. I had to have been in middle school when I first saw this. I watched a lot of cheesy movies, and just especially B movies. I would love watching those, and this was one of them that I came across. And especially as a kid, when you're seeing it, it's that imagination thing. Anytime you see any type of claymation stuff and all that, usually in movies growing up, when I used to see that, you'd see it as it's things that you couldn't do in real life, and it's before they had the CGI for it. And in a movie like this, where they're not aiming for reality, you can get away with doing that kind of thing more. Now, in something like The Thing, when you're looking at those kind of claymation stuff, you have to try to get more realistic with it.
Yeah.
But like this in Clash of the Titans, when you're just looking at that stop motion thing, you can do things that are more fantastical with it. So that was the kind of thought. But when I was rewatching it, I had to look up if it was a comedy. Because it's of that time where you're thinking, if you watch a lot of the B movies, they're cheesy and bad, but that's just them being bad writers. But this one, when I looked up and confirmed that it is a comedy, so I was like, okay, they're intending for the dialogue to be that cheesy and terrible, and they're really doing the 50s. B movie stereotypes.
Yeah, like the regular aliens coming down, except they were clowns.
Except they have to be clowns.
Which
and
is realistic.
The cop sitting there saying, "All right, you've got space aliens in the Okay. And he's getting calls from every single person.
Yeah.
Sure,
Clowns,
space
huh?
Oh, clowns, huh? All right, clowns. Yep, crazies. Bunch of clowns.
And Mooney's such a big dick. Like, if that guy was really a cop,
It's the Simpsons.
get over here, boom, slams him against the
Simpsons
wall.
thing of, double homicide. Okay, yeah, I get you. All right. Armed robbery. Yeah, sure. All right.
But so right when I started watching it, one of the things that I realized as to why I enjoyed it as a kid too, is because they really just jump into it.
Yeah.
Like it's like I think like I counted
It
15
starts
minutes
off-
in, and all of a sudden there's just like the clowns are here.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, let's do this little scene, boom, boom, boom.
Steffan, yes, interject.
Now, you have complained greatly and have told me you've zoned out of movies in the first 5.
So,
And you're saying that this is quick.
But you get what you expect though. I'm expecting just this horrible crap.
those first 5 are
So,
pretty rough.
as long as you're expecting horrible crap, you'll forgive
When it's-
any movie of any atrocity.
No.
If it has a title like Killer Klowns from Outer
Yeah.
Space, you're gonna wait for the Killer Klowns, like snakes on a plane. You're like,
Yeah.
come on, bring on the snakes, bring on the snakes. And once you get the snakes, then you're good. Even though it takes a while for them to get on that
And
plane.
the investment was well worth it.
Yeah, it was great watching that guy buy groceries, buy his beer. The cop looks after him. You're like, that kid burned that beer, damn it. And
But it's
then-
funny, see, when that happens, I'm laughing. I'm like, this is...
Well, that's why I had to look up if it was a comedy, because I needed to know how invested I needed to be in this and how judgmental I needed to be of, are they serious here? And it's, yeah, that kind of thing. As you were talking about before with horror movies, about intending to be bad, the intentionally bad horror film.
Yeah.
And this one is much more comedy than horror film, and it's much more of a spoof movie.
That's when it's the good way of intending to be.
Yeah.
Is when it's a parody.
When it's a parody of that.
type.
This is a parody of those B movies, and it just takes the outrageous clowns, because clowns are funny, but also they get the added bonus of the fear of clowns. And this, I'm sure this
They are
definitely
creepy
added.
looking.
This is definitely added to kids' fears of clowns.
Yeah,
I'm
and even
sure.
if though this is 1988, those clowns are so creepy looking to me. Like, if I saw one in like down an alley, I'd be like, oh shit, and I'd just sprint away.
Yeah. Especially one of those clowns.
Yeah.
Don't let it do shadow puppets for you.
Oh no. And it was funny. That was like, as a child, that was my favorite death thing.
That was brilliant with this,
was like,
because the
what?
shadows come out.
Yeah.
Dinosaur eats the guys.
Definitely looked really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're a kid and you're like, and I've never seen anything like that.
If I saw that in an indie film or in someone's like YouTube movie thing, like that would still be a cool effect to get the, like, you show people, you show shadow puppets, you're getting that, all right, cool, and then the shadow puppet eats them. Like, that's a neat trick, neat illusion, neat camera trick. So, yeah.
So what about Steffan? Jack
What are your
Steffan.
impressions of this?
I think they could have. I don't know. Because I just thought that they could have done a lot better, to be honest,
In what ways?
in taking it further
Into comedy?
Yes, I think they could have done better there.
How would you have done?
How would I have done it?
They bring you the
What
script.
what things would you add to this to punch it up? What other steps would you bring in?
Just I don't know. I mean, I don't think there'd be specific steps that I'd have in mind. I mean, it'd
You have to
be
think about it for a
there'd
while.
probably be specific things that I could say if I thought about it, but in general, I'd say that it would be taking it just way farther.
Yeah, because it's still it presents itself in the air of not taking itself seriously, and it doesn't take itself seriously, but it also doesn't push it
Really?
beyond the extreme. It still treats it as a horror film from start to finish with basic plot outline and just going through the motions of the B horror film.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go to the outrageous. It doesn't push it any further.
I'd love to see a remake of this.
Which they are. Oh no, they're making a sequel.
A sequel?
Yeah.
Now that's actually more interesting. Is it the same guys doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The whatever
The
brothers.
Cheeto Brothers,
Yeah.
Which was
like,
interesting when I looked up them, how they mostly, after this, they just did effects for other things, including The Simpsons. And things. So
Critters.
they definitely have that imagination of creating monsters and creating that.
And I mean, and they did the mice for that one movie with.
Coraline? Those
No,
mice?
no.
Okay. There's a mice dance thing in Coraline. And
Oh no,
I don't know
no.
that thing.
Steve Carell was in that movie, the stupid.
Idiot, the Schmucks, Jennifer
Yeah,
Schmucks?
yeah, Jennifer Schmucks. They did all the
Okay.
mice things.
I didn't see that movie. So
okay.
I heard about that.
But yeah, I mean, they're very imaginative.
Yeah. So now, maybe if they have the people behind them to produce something that's up to today's standards.
What I
maybe that
thought
could
was
be good.
interesting too is, so that movie cost $2 million to make, and then it made like, and then it made like, And it made like
Is that high or low for you?
That's high.
Now,
hold on though. It made $2.5 million domestic.
Yeah, domestic box office.
Worldwide, it said $43 million.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Now,
That's pretty cool.
I don't know. Building the sets, doing the claymation, the stop motion stuff. That stop motion stuff can take a while, and depending on who you're paying the studio for
Yeah.
that. And then you also factor in advertising into the $2 million. So, maybe we'll see where it got in there. But it's high for the quality that is produced now. Mm-hmm. But I think even now that would still be a $2 million movie because budgets are so inflated currently. I don't know, at the time, $1 million. What was Waterworld? Waterworld was one of those first that was like the extreme budget movie.
You have to Wikipedia that one.
Yeah, I got butter on my fingers. I don't want to look that up. You have to look that up. But yeah, you have to look at for the time of how much it was. $2 million is might be kind of high for the time.
Yeah.
Maybe if they got like the Zucker brothers in there to punch up the script for the end of it, or
so you said Sucker Brothers?
No.
To punch up the script?
Sucker Brothers. Zack Snyder? Yeah, have Zack Snyder come in. I don't know, something taking it a little further. So.
Well, I mean, one of the things I did like though is like they used everything from like a carnival and clowns and did something with it.
It starts off. You've got their tent.
Mm-hmm. It was very creative. I did like a lot of the ideas in there. I just really wanted them to take it so much farther than they did.
And I like how the cocoons, and they put the crazy straws to suck the blood out. And it's just fun, but kind of messed up at the same time.
Yeah.
It's great. It's so good.
And you've got the establishment of the ice cream truck coming through, and the ice cream truck just a comic relief thing, and then ends up being the
I guess we'll see. These ideas should have made me laugh out loud. I never once did.
Yeah, that's the tough thing because it wasn't played as much as a comedy. It's more of a subtle satire on it, and things have gotten so crazy in horror films, and things are so crazy in horror films that the idea of Killer Klowns from Outer Space isn't all that odd. It's a little silly, but beyond that, you're like, it's not normal. I mean, usually it's like aliens or.
Well, if they were going to be aliens, I'm
like they are aliens, but they're just not.
I could see them as clowns.
Yeah, like they could be.
That's possible, right?
It's not so wacky. It's a little wacky at first, but you're like, okay, all right. and that's over, and then all of your jokes are on that, and it's just the same like stereotype characters, and they're playing the stereotypes really hard, but on that too, you're like, I see the same kind of things in Plan 9 from Outer Space, which is intended to be serious. So,
like, I definitely like this more than Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, because I know they were supposed to be funny too, but I felt they had more to work with, and like you were saying, I wasn't laughing out loud.
You've got large,
but I was entertained and smiling.
You got more to pull from with the clowns.
Yeah.
And at some points, you're like rooting for the clowns at some of the people, like especially the shadow puppet ones,
or when they get the bike.
Yeah,
like I like that
those
little
people
guy.
messing with the little guy on the bike. Yeah,
I like the little clown. He's my favorite.
Yeah, so it's not always against them. There's some of the humans that are okay, but most of them are like, go clowns, get them. Yeah, it was fun with them, but it's not. Yeah,
and a lot of it
sort of what it could be.
A lot of it made sense, like a bunch of balloons in a room slowing you down. Totally makes sense. I like some of their obstacles. It's like, there's a lot of balloons. Oh man, we gotta hurry.
I'd like to see you run through a field of balloons, sir.
I can be tough. Because then they push against each other in weird ways, and the space, the volume.
I'm pretty sure I can just run through.
The fluidity of the balloon.
It would be interesting,
I think
though.
knocking balloons aside over accidentally tripping over one takes less time.
If you push the balloons aside, like if it's a thing of balloons and you push it, your hand kind of like goes through it like air. They move a bit, but you have to get like individual ones.
Actually, there'd be a way to do it.
You
just have to run really weird, like a penguin, and like. So you just be kicking while running?
Just penguin walk? Okay.
But not
so
kicking,
like a Nazi.
But not, it's a
Nazi walk.
Well, not
Nazi
quite,
walk.
because you'd have to be still...
That's how they actually developed that, because they were invading
ground.
clowns, and they had the famous Russian carnivals, and they were trying to step through there and kill
Well, one thing I was wishing for, and I guess this is stupid, but...
Yes.
The whole thing's silly.
That's how you...
The whole thing's silly. And they go to, like, open a door. You think with all that technology... of traveling through space.
Oh, that's space clown technology.
Maybe there could be a button to push or sensors, but they're like, open the door.
Well, because it has to be carnival themed, so it's not going to be crazy sci-fi stuff. It's more like a fun house.
Well, they had the other ones where you press the button and they went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So,
one was just the fun house store.
The budget for Waterworld,
Yes.
$175 million.
Okay, that was it. So it's the $100 million stuff. So I guess 88 budget of $2 million. Not that crazy. That's still a low budget. Nah, I just remember like Waterworld was one of those where when it came out and they were rallying against how could you make a movie for that much money? It was like destined to flop because of that. And now you see the $100 million movies. Like that's cheaper for a big
standard.
budget. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I like Waterworld, but
so
I had giggled at times, but that was only because I will say this though. I did giggle at times, and it was only because I was watching the movie with someone that was at the time inebriated, and so to them, they were just laughing because of just like, seriously, seriously.
it's a good movie to watch while you're drunk. I'd say so.
I don't gauge movies on how entertaining they are to watch when I'm drunk.
No, but now that you brought it up, I'm just saying it would be one of those movies.
I like 300.
I was wondering if you would.
I liked it better. Well, I sort of liked it better when I was drunk.
You're like, yeah, jumping up in the
Well, we sort of played a drinking game where we drank every time someone died. But
oh God,
count that out. And that was entertaining. I mean, the bad part was you just. Never mind. Anyway. But yeah.
Yeah. So.
Kind of getting off topic with the 300 thing.
Yeah. Just trying to fill out the time with other talk about other things. What other great points do you bring up for this masterpiece of cinema?
I did think the way they did the clowns was really good though.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the masks and just their whole like costume. I thought they were really good.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was really, really cool.
I mean, I feel like if they do it today, it would be very close to what they had back then.
And I'd want them to. Well, I'd kind of want them to redo all of what's inside the tent.
Yeah.
That would be. You can make some really, really cool stuff with the special effects of today, and like.
I'd love to still keep it with a lot of practical.
Yeah. Of course, keep it to like.
The things you need to update are the cocooning device and the laser stuff because that's the stuff. Everything else in this movie is practical, and then you get to that, and that's you don't have other options for that.
Make rabbit feet out of everybody.
Yes,
that's what I think. Like when I saw it, I was just like, "Are those like giant rabbit feet? What does this have to do with anything?"
So you went into this movie. Not hoping to not.
I gave it a chance.
You gave it a chance.
I gave it a chance by expecting it was going to be complete garbage.
Yeah. You.
That's how I'll word
set
it.
your expectations very low.
Yes.
Where did you come out with this then? You said it wasn't.
How did I rate it?
It could have been better.
How did I rate it?
Yeah.
I wanted to give it a 1.5.
You wanted to give it a 1.5.
Wow.
All right.
It's messed up, man. It's real messed up.
He wants to give your childhood a 1.5.
I know.
Now, how do you give your childhood today? How would you have given it in your childhood, and how would you?
Oh, in a childhood, out of 5, I would have given it a 7.5.
All right.
I was like, it's the best movie ever. I'm like, thank goodness we have VHS. I could watch
That's
it.
what I thought about
times.
Willow.
Oh yeah.
I had that on VHS, and I watched it all the time. And today, I can't even remember it.
Oh yeah.
I watched that like almost every day. I watched Willow, and now I don't. I don't know what it's about. There's a little person in it, and that's about it.
Yeah, and they fight. That's all you need to know.
I don't remember that.
It's basically Lord of the Rings.
So yes, what do you say today?
I'll give it like a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
I give it a 3, but it gets most of that points from its inventiveness and
Uh-huh.
its creativity on the.
The points
the
you got
creatures.
from me was for inventive.
I know, but yeah,
Well,
I
because
might still give it that 1.5 that I give it is for its story.
With having such great ideas and then just anyway.
See, so like after the movie was over, it started suggesting other movies, which was like Child's Play, and I like that kind of stuff. Like I like that corny BS. You know, I don't take it serious.
I will actually credit Netflix. It predicted a 1.5 out of me.
It's working.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we get out of this. Netflix is working on the
Netflix
suggestions.
understands you. Yes.
And you said you give it a 3?
Yeah.
Did you rate it yet?
No. So it should tell me.
But you might have rated it instantly.
Yeah, I don't remember what I had mine at.
You all gotta like sign it and everything. So wait.
What I do is a lot of times I'll unrate a movie and then re-rate it.
So what's your what's your next pick? It's your pick, right, John? Or
we're gonna do my pick next. We might interject a guest. I hadn't wrangled it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick one now. There have been so many on my list that I've been looking at, and I actually need to see when one expires. But
Failed to log in, folks. He doesn't remember his password.
Because I'm looking into my sub account on here. Vamp, guys, vamp. So that song.
It predicted a 4.5 on mine.
Netflix really knows us, guys.
See, but I do want to see the other things, like See the Chucky, Scary or Die, Halloween, Creepshow.
Maybe
Dolls was good. I always thought that was creepy when I was a kid.
Netflix is probably like, why are you watching this, Steffan?
Are you okay, Steffan?
Why are you watching this?
All right, it's not letting me log. I don't even remember logging and stuff. I don't know if this thing's working.
What I'm curious. So, did you have like a favorite death or a favorite clown or a favorite anything?
The short clown is interesting. I think the shadow puppet death has got to be one of my favorites. I keep mentioning it over and over again.
Yeah, it's like
that weird, crazy bottomless pit thing in the
Silac pit
in the tent. That room
creature?
they go into. No, I don't remember it. I watched this a whole 2 days ago. I can't remember all these things. But it looked like when they entered it, the tent was just so much bigger on the inside than it seemed on the outside. It's TARDIS technology.
Oh, I also like the alpha clown at the end. He comes down like.
Now,
oh yeah, he was kind of like a dinosaur type clown.
Yeah.
Too. Prehistoric clown.
so my favorite death, I mean, and it's not because of the character at all, but it actually is Mooney's.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's like he turns him into a hand puppet.
Yeah, that's true. That one stuck out too.
That one's really awesome. And then like he pulls his hand out, it's all bloody and shit. Yeah, that's cool.
They have the other puppets that they like the little puppet show they put on.
Oh yeah, that's like funny. Like I thought that was funny, and the guy's all
It's the fun stuff.
He's all oh shit.
Yeah, it's the fun.
But I think they copied. I saw some Star Wars with the Silac pit.
Well, it's 11 years after Star Wars, so Return of the Jedi is actually.
And then they also have the
Are
balloon
you
room.
looking up your next choice?
Huh?
Are you looking at your next
Now
choice?
I am. I quit trying to log into Netflix because that thing wasn't working. So I'm just making sure that the film doesn't expire too soon.
And if it does, you'll have to think about what your next film will be. Yeah, and we'll just keep rolling.
Just keep talking. Alright, I already found the next one. Okay, so the next movie was one I wasn't originally going to pick because it was too far down on my list, and I thought it was one that most people wouldn't find as interesting as I did. But I started watching it with you and almost finished watching the movie with you. And based on your interest in the movie, I confirmed, alright, this is one that people should watch. Because this is... I think it reminds me more of clean flicks because it's one that I think can get some good discussion out of it, and it's one that's not as well known of a film.
And we're all board gamers.
No, it's not the one you're thinking of.
Oh, thank God!
Yes, no, it's the one we almost finished. I will not make you watch Under the Boardwalk, the Monopoly one, though I do recommend that if you do like this next one.
Yes.
That sounds horrible.
But
I don't have to watch it.
This is a
this one's
documentary
much
called...
better. This one's much better.
This one's called Word Wars.
Yeah.
Word
Oh,
Wars.
okay.
You heard of that one?
Yeah, it's the Scrabble competition.
Yes. It's a documentary about Scrabble championships.
Marlon's amazing. That's all I gotta say.
You will all get to learn the wonders that is Marlon.
fantastic.
I like G.I. Joel, but they're all...
No, he's great too.
They're all great
he's
characters.
good.
It's one of those examples of a documentary that has found real characters and really great characters.
In real people.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know,
And the two people that the most...
amplified.
Well, I guess I won't spoil
Well,
it.
we don't want to spoil anything with it.
They didn't have to, like, go out of the way to pull these two people that are really entertaining.
It's the most
At
entertaining
all.
Scrabble documentary you will ever see.
I don't know.
Ah.
I've seen 2 other really entertaining ones.
Well, you can recommend those next week after we talk about Word Wars next week. Thank you for sitting through all of our stalling for time and our discussions.
Us eating popcorn.
Us eating popcorn.
Finishing the word.
And our discussions of Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Yeah!
We'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a great time. Comment and rate and review.
Yeah.
Of everything.
The Killer Klowns song sounds really familiar. The theme song? Did you use it for something that you've done?
The song Killer Klowns from Outer Space?
Yeah.
KC? I don't think I've used it in any of my things. But
It sounded really familiar.
I've heard it before. It's a good song.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love the theme song. I forgot I didn't talk about the music the whole time. I love the music.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite parts of it.
Oh, makes you know. Actually, let me try one of those. What if it ends up tasting absolutely delicious? Like Cartman and his Asperger's?
Yeah, it's